We're trying to monetize on YouTube, so if you want to just like click around and watch some of our videos, we got a new one up with Chris Valenti. Um, I'm gonna do a little like Instagram live here, just to or story here. So we are officially live with Carlos Casadilla Palacios. Eso es el fundador de Disrupt Network. So come on, we're gonna be talking about Natalie Hart giving OTPHJs to the President of the United States, JD Vance invoking Sharia law because he sucks, and all sorts of other shit.
Yeah,
So
not
Carlos,
yeah.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No,
No,
I
after
mean,
you.
not to harp on the issue too much, but we do need to talk about the Natalie Harp situationship with Trump. It's really been dominating the news cycle because we had some new letters that came
Yeah,
out.
dude. So I saved a letter. I wanted to go over it with you because you're a man of the world. You understand that and
I have so you'll read one letter. So Steve is gonna read one letter, and then I'm gonna read the other letter, and it's gonna be just beautiful love letters that we're gonna be
yeah.
reading at each other. That's so
Yeah, we're
beautiful.
going to be reading love letters to each other, which is really just the best it's the best kind of thing for our that's what our relationship needs right now. We got 9 people in the chat on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, be sure to click that little link I threw in there.
Hi, Hannah. So there's people also. There's like 31 people on our Instagram. We have a good crowd here going.
We got a
Someone is
good little
saying
crowd.
you said your audio is a little compressed, Steve. So
My audio's a little compressed.
yeah, apparently your audio is a little compressed.
I don't know what that
Um,
means from an
I
audio
don't know what that
standpoint.
means either. Someone's asking who's Natalie Hart, and they accidentally said fart at first, but they meant heart. So
Natalie Harp is Trump's printer, is what we call her. Can you hear me, Carlos?
yes, I can hear you. And executive assistant, and some saying home aid care professional. People are saying that she's a lot of things. Not only the human printer, but a jack of all trades, of every trade,
Master
really.
Master of diapers.
Master.
Jack of all trades,
Yes.
master of diapers. Cool.
Yes.
I
Oh,
have
look, we
the
got some support from Chile. Hola, desde Chile. Muchas
Hola de
gracias,
Chile.
Eddie.
Oh, we got Sprout here. What's up, Sprout? Sprout, I made a little. Sprout's our YouTube mod, valued member of the community, a Valental, who's lending his their time, effort, and energy. Yesterday, we made them a strawberry picture. Carlos, if you have any like super amazing members of your community that like drawings, let them know that we can make them a little watercolor as a thank you.
Oh, that's
Uh,
beautiful. Okay,
I,
that's great to know.
if anybody, it's good watercolors too. And if anybody comes over from Marky C, what's up, baby? I used to run lobbies with Mark in Call of Duty, so we go
Oh,
back.
maybe soon we play some Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, in a in a hacked lobby. That'll
Yes,
be
we'll definitely
fun.
do it. But for
Rust,
now, oh
1v1 Rust. But for now we gotta read the letters. So you wanna go first? Which letter do
yeah,
you there's 2 letters.
I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this
Okay.
letter I got
Read
here.
that one,
Okay.
I'll read the other one. Go ahead.
Now, who should I do it as? Should I do it as Natalie or should I do
Or,
it?
or as Eminem stamp, Lysandra, a great comedian, friend, content creator. She did a fantastic video where she was, pretend to be Natalie while the Stan song was playing. So I think
Cool.
you should read it as Natalie, a very, well-rounded, totally normal individual writing a letter to her boss.
Okay. Perfect. Dear Mr. President, I'm sorry. I thought I was the only one left behind last night and had no idea Margot's car was also pulled over and sent back to the airport. Since I was alone in the van outside customs without my passport, I panicked and should have just called Secret Service instead of you. I also am sorry if I was an embarrassment walking the course in Scotland. The first day I was told there were no carts and people walked, which is why I walked. The second day I was specifically asked by, I forget who his name was, but one of the main people who worked there if I could continue walking and tell any other girls who would head out there to do the same to spare the course any more carts. If there is anything else I have done to cause you trouble, please forgive me. I know that some people have said that haven't been texting them back, and there have been some international cell issues. John was having technical issues on the plane too, so ask me to help him out. I want things to always be right between us. I also know I've been distracted all week, forgetting to eat throughout the days, and even for getting to sleep and only catching a couple hours at a time. I haven't been myself, dwelling on the past and the pain of losing my dad, and I started letting the remarks of people who haven't been bothered me before get to me. Not because I care what others think, but because I see myself being lowered in your eyes and good opinion. That is the fear you see, because I never want to bring you anything but joy. I'm sorry I lost my focus. You are all that matters to me. I don't ever want to let you down. Thank you for being my guardian and protector in this life. That's what I wanted to use this card for when you saw me at the cash register and once again did what you didn't have to do and gifted me with mementos of this trip of a lifetime, a coming of age. I will return a better person. I have to sign off now as the cars are leaving. See you soon. With all my heart, Natalie.
And this is Trump's response. Ready? Natalie, I ain't reading all that. I'm happy for you though, or sorry that happened.
Yeah, right. Natalie, I'm not going to read all of that. I'm sorry. I just want to let you know I don't do emotions. That is actually terrifying. The fact someone views Donnie of all people like this is beyond disturbing. Yes, I completely agree with you, Sprout. Anybody who views the president of the United States like this definitely needs to get their head checked out. Carlos, what's your chat saying about the rendition of the letter I just read?
No, this is so Lex Rose Schumacher says that this is a good friend. Hi Lex. Thank you for being so supportive. She says this is impressive and it's insanity. The letter.
Yeah,
And I think
it is.
your impression was also impressive.
You know what
Impressive
they say in
impression.
acting. You know what they say about in acting. They always say that it's not a compelling performance is never when somebody cries. It's fighting back tears. That's the most impressive
Or
thing
when you
about
make
them.
someone else cry, which
Yeah,
is what
yeah, yeah.
Trump does a lot. He makes a lot of people cry.
Do you think
Uh,
before we get to the second letter, I like to build a little bit of tension with
we
these
have to build
things.
attention.
We got to build a little tension here. Do you think that they are stooping? Do you think that he is giving her the old Stormy Daniels, or do you think that his sex life now is just kind of like narcissistic supply in the form of like printed tweets singing about his
I
prayers?
heard someone say that Trump probably wishes people think that's it's happening, and then the most likely scenario is that she's just like taking care of him and is very obsessed. And do you know she doesn't have a security clearance? She is possibly has become one of the most powerful people on earth because she controls all the information Trump gets, and she doesn't have. She's refused a security clearance, and
She was she,
apparently she texts foreign leaders on behalf of Trump. I wonder what she texts Kim Jong Un. Maybe she's jealous of Kim Jong Un because of the love letters that Trump and him used to trade. She
wait,
might be. You might be
what?
kind of jealous.
She might be jelly. Oh my God. Hey, if you're joining us on YouTube or Twitch or wherever, we're not monetized on YouTube, but we're getting there. So thank you for showing us the love. We always post the stream recaps on the daily, trying to get to 4,000 watch hours. I think we're at like 2,500 right now. But thanks for joining us, Sprout. Thanks for modding. You're the best. Holy shit is right. We live in the time of holy shit. That's so. Carlos, you have the second letter. I think you sent
Yeah.
it to me.
Yeah. Do you want to put on the screen?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this here. Let's
Okay.
see here. Put that in there. I'm gonna share this
I'm gonna.
tab. Okay, so can you see? I'll send you the link so you can read it on your screen, and then this is what we have for our audience, just so they know that the letter exists. I'm gonna
So
send you
I
the.
think what I'm gonna do this time is read the letter from the perspective of Trump reading the letter in his head.
I like that. I like that.
Should I do that? Okay. All right. Dear Mr. President, now this is the note I wanted to write, but the apology needed to come first. I have learned so much about myself on this trip. She learned a lot about herself. I didn't know that. I always knew coming home to my roots would be enlightening. Wait, she's from Scotland, Ireland. I didn't know. I don't hear what she's saying. But I had no idea how much. For the first time in I don't know how long, you forced me to unplug. Yes, I needed her to unplug the TV because I needed to go to sleep. We could be out on the course with no machines and even forget what time it was. All right,
The
she's kind
fucking
of cuckoo.
clicker. I never know where the clicker is. Oh,
And
sorry.
I didn't have to be the human printer. I mean, that's the best nickname I've ever come up with. You are the human printer, Natalie. All right, I'll keep reading. I could take time to enjoy good conversation and still get all my work done at the end of the day. She better get all her work done because she's doing a job. She's got to do a good job or she'll get the Sean Spicer treatment.
The Sean Spicer, the Scaramucci.
In fact, I even had time to take a long morning and evening walks to enjoy sunrise and sunset. Well, I'm glad she got to see it because I'm asleep both times. Though I did forget to eat and sleep. Interesting. With so much thinking time, I confess it did have a slightly a negative effect at times. And I know you picked up on it. Yeah, she was real annoying, but I didn't want to hurt her feelings. But the end result, I believe, will be worth it. I had no idea how rapidly I was approaching burnout and starting to envy those whose only job seems to be to talk with you and look pretty. I will. Everyone who works with me has to look pretty. I want that job so many times. I'm just trying to stay afloat with all that's coming in for you. I need printing. Come on, I need printing. I look like the hunchback who didn't have time to freshen up. Oh, sure, Natalie. Yes, Natalie. All I thought was you're the hunchback. Of course. Yes, sure.
That's a hurtful thing to say to somebody. Did he say that to her, or is that
No,
just in the
no, he's
letter?
reading. It's in the letter. She
Oh,
was
okay.
saying that she looked like the hunchback, and sure, Trump thought that. Sure, sure. Plus, I miss the days when you used to call during my talk show days, and we'd talk about everything and nothing. Oh, I remember those days. I don't know who I was talking. If it was Tommy Lauren and her, I don't know. I don't know the difference really. Or
they
Megan
both look.
Kelly.
They both look like. They both look like Ivanka if she was ugly. But I'll take a 6 out of 10 Ivanka over no Ivanka, because my daughter's the hottest thing. Person. They say I can't call them
I
that
forget.
bad.
I forget these days. Okay, I keep reading. I want to go back to the synergy. We shouldn't have to talk about work all the time. What do you mean? The Epstein files is not work. That's fake news.
Uh,
Okay, where was I?
I can't believe this
Um,
is. I can't believe
okay,
we're
here we
getting to
go.
this timeline.
I've always felt like an in betweener, somewhere between staff and those you enjoy talking to on the plane or at dinner. That's what they call a situationship.
Wait, it says that.
No, I'm I'm ad libbing just like Trump would ad lib as he's thinking, reading the
Oh,
letter.
okay. I like it. It's a good bit. I'm just like I.
Yeah.
This is how fucked. This is how fucked our timeline is. Is I can't tell what's in the letter, and I can't tell what.
What
Yeah.
Trump
This
would
is.
say. Um, that's who I used to be to you when I was a talk show host. As much as I hated the actual job, I wish I could hear every conversation because that's when you're having a good time, getting away from it all, at least for a few moments. All right, I think she might be a little obsessed. I don't know. But after going through all this self analysis, my conclusion I need to reunite with my past self, with my current, into a better version who will make you proud. And please, when I fail, will you tell me? You have the absolute right to cuss me out if you need me. If you need if you need me when I deserve it, because no one knows or cares about me more. That's true, Natalie. I will cuss whenever I want, and I actually do not care that much. But I love that you care. I love that you feel that way. I really do. But I won't tell you.
Accurate. Accurate.
Uh, Thank you for always being there for me. I'll never forget when you made that promise to me after losing my dad, and I know how happy he is right now that I did get to go to Scotland and Ireland as he always wanted for me to modify a classic. I could have not parted with you to anyone less worthy. All right, she thinks I'm her dad. That's a little weird, or is it? And I will add, it is I who is unworthy. She sounds like someone from the medieval times. All right, she signs it off. Always Natalie. P.S. My hands looked worse in Scotland and Ireland because of the cold. Turns the old scars purple. Still on the road to recovery. All right, you know how I say my opponents have Trump derangement syndrome? Well, I actually think I found the first patient of true Trump derangement syndrome. And you know what? I love it. I love my human printer. She's so beautiful. She printed this letter out for me. I love it. But it's a little weird. Some people are saying I'm the victim here. I am the victim of this obsession. I don't know. I love being the victim. Anyways,
That's the fucking. That was, dude. She needs
I
to
think it
go.
was
She needs to go. This is a pretty classic. There's this form of psychotherapy called well, it's not a form of psychotherapy. It's called internal family systems, and
yeah.
it's called parts work. Have you heard of this?
No, I have not.
So it's basically like everybody is like there's like yourself, and then there's
Yeah.
exiles, is another part of you. Yourself is just like you, right? But then there's all this stuff that gets in the way of you, and one of them is like exiles. That's like your inner child, and then there's these things called managers in all of us, and firefighters. So like a firefighter is like if you're emotionally vulnerable, like the
Yeah.
firefighter's like the person who tells you like, hey, go get a drink or go for a jog, you need to feel better in
Yeah.
30 seconds. The
Yeah.
manager is the one who like helps you analyze and like write scripts, like you look back on a relationship or something, like
Wow.
you're in a, so you're like you can tell this is like her past showing up, like her dad left her or something. She had an incredibly traumatic like childhood, and so now she's like projecting her own
I
inadequacy
mean, she's
on.
basically saying that Trump's her dad. I mean, I think that
Yeah,
that's what she said in the last paragraph. Chat, what do you think? Do you think she
yeah.
views Trump as her dad?
I think that she.
What is the chat saying?
What is chat? What do you think? Well, Sprout says that she needs to be in a padded room. I don't disagree with that hypothesis.
Yeah.
Uh, I think
Um,
she I think she deserves to be in a padded room because like we're a very pro mental health podcast here, but
we are.
we're very anti-fascist. So that
Sh-
can
I-
be like her. That can be like her defense at the Nuremberg trials when they have them.
Yeah, I think Trump's response would be like, maybe she does need a therapist. I should pay for one because I don't want to be a therapist. I have too many jobs. I have to sit on the couch, watch Fox News, and build the ballroom. It's too many
Yeah.
jobs. I can't be the therapist. I can't be Natalie's therapist.
Oh, dude, he's the worst. I can't believe that he's. I would say like
Um,
this. I would say like this poor woman like can feel bad for her, but I don't feel bad for her because, she chose this life. Like this is what you knew you were getting into.
she was an anchor on news, on OAN News, so she was already a little fascist propagandist.
Oh yeah, well fuck her then. Like what do we feel bad for?
No,
Like I mean
well,
I don't
some
know. Like
people do. Some people are feeling bad for Trump. I don't think we should feel bad for Trump at all. But some people are saying he's the victim. He doesn't know how to get rid of this person, and she's very
who the
obsessed.
fuck is saying that? Um
The
uh
people.
realizing
I don't
Trump's
know the people.
daddy daughter relationship with
I mean, no one.
Natalie
What has
Arthur.
anyone asked how Ivanka Trump feels?
No, and I don't think anybody knows what Ivanka Trump. If you were Ivanka Trump, like I find Ivanka Trump to be the most fascinating person in this entire orbit because like you can tell she really wants to be cool. Like she really wants to go to like good parties with like cool people that aren't fascists, but
Yeah.
she is fascist. So she's got this like kind of thing going on where like her and Jared are like, "Yeah, we're going to move to Miami and live next to cool people." But everybody's like, "Yeah, but you're
Wait, Steve, you have to pull up the picture or the news image of Natalie. Basically, the report that Natalie in 2024, I believe, when he was headed to court, they were leaving Trump Tower and they wouldn't have any more space. Um, they wouldn't have any more space to get into the SUV, and Natalie jumped into the trunk
oh,
to be able to
what?"
go. Yeah, yeah,
Uh
into the trunk.
this kind of reminds me Just
Wait, I
like
want to
everyone
address
else.
in the chat. Someone is saying feeling bad for Trump. You know, Trump has been charged with sexual assault. No, no one's actually feeling bad for Trump. This is
No.
all a joke.
Yeah, we don't
He
feel bad for
deserves to
Trump.
be in prison. No one feels bad for Trump, but it is really hilarious to see someone who might be more deranged than him. Um,
Oh,
you know,
oh, here we
so.
go. This is Natalie Harp's brother. Hang on a second.
Oh yeah, his brother.
Oops, son of a. I don't want Ossoff.
Oh, we do need to address Asaf.
We'll do that in a second.
Trump
Let's see.
Tower for a court appearance, okay? And they were all getting into the motorcade. There was sort of a screaming match about who was getting in what car, and it turned out that there wasn't room for Natalie. So she insisted, she said no. Trump had personally asked her to come to this court appearance, so she needed to be in the car. Now, according to these sources, the end result is that your sister jumped into the trunk of one of the motorcade vehicles to go to the court appearance in Lower Manhattan.
That's really funny. I didn't even know about that.
I mean, what is your reaction to that? I mean, you're laughing, but I mean, is it funny or what? I mean,
It is funny.
No,
So
no,
that's
it's
why.
not. I'm sorry. It's actually kind of sad. That's obsession. That's like an unhealthy obsession with someone if you're going to jump into the trunk of their car.
I.
It's been 1 year since
Oh,
President
who the
Trump's
fuck is
federal
Janine
search
Pirro
warrant
doing
district
on our
and results
screen?
had been
We don't
Well,
need
so-
the DA. We don't need
so
the
her
blind
brother-
box DAA.
So her brother in that interview basically said that she had an obsession with other presidents. She has like an obsession with that office, and she had written letters to George W. Bush that went unanswered.
Oh.
Yeah, Trump answered them actually. So
What do you think do you think she did the wish on a willow thing with the obsession? Like, do you think Trump did like a
so that's what people are. Yeah, I think it's like I think he wanted. He's like no one's obsessed. My family's not obsessed with me. No one. I wanted someone who's obsessed with me. He finally got it. And now it's a national security risk. I mean, he's a national security risk, but then he's got another national security risk. So we have that. And here's what's interesting. We should pull up the John Ossoff clip because John Ossoff in a campaign rally talked about it. And then there's been an incredible reaction.
Really? Let's see.
Yeah.
Here.
Donald Trump's motorcade was going to leave.
And there's something uniquely despicable about lying a nation into war. Treating citizens as fools and those who serve as pawns.
I like him.
Yeah, me too.
Aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln, they've now been at sea for 240 plus days without a port call. It's a Navy record. And still they serve with excellence. And still they serve with excellence. God bless the sailors, Marines, aviators, and all aboard the United States ship Abraham Lincoln. See, they don't expect luxury. They'll endure hardship. But they deserve competent leaders who send them into combat only when necessary, and with decisive clarity of purpose, not fools who lie about the purpose and progress of war. And while the sailors on the Lincoln fight his war, while he fruitlessly drains our munitions and oil reserves, the president sleeps through his meetings. He golfs and trades stocks. See, he doesn't want to do the job. He wants to build his ballroom and travel with Natalie on their apparently defenseless flying palace gifted by the Emir of Qatar.
There we go. That's the clip. That's the clip. What a break.
Ossoff, he's got that dog in him, bro. I like Ossoff, man. That was good. That was good shit. He's good. Yeah, Sprout. I'm with you. I just want somebody to win. I don't really care. Like, I don't want it to be Newsom. I don't want it to be. I'll take Ossoff in a pinch. He's not gonna be my first choice in the primary, but if we got to get behind him in a general, I'll take it. I like.
I mean, he completely undressed Donald Trump.
Oh,
in
that's great.
In a masterful and just like cutting so deep into Trump. Now, here's the thing, and maybe you can pull this up. So Scott Jennings from CNN, they call him the local TV seal. He just loves to yell at people. defending the Trump MAGA position. He was so upset at this comment. This comment, he was outraged on behalf of all women. Scott
Oh,
Jennings,
let's see. Here we go.
he was very outraged because
A public figure.
Nor is
She has
nor is
no.
Ruby Freeman or
she
Shane
has,
Moss.
she has no
to be
ability
hon- to be
You're,
honest,
you're
defend
not answering the
herself,
question.
and Democrats
You
I'm
are
sorry.
avoiding
They're
the
the party
question
of
again,
women and
Scott Jennings.
dragging
You
her.
continuously
sorry.
distract
Hold
and
on.
devoid.
Scott Jennings, can I just I just need a minute to cook here, okay? I just need a minute to cook here. Scott Jennings is his entire personality. I'm doing the accordion hand sprout, so you know that it's about to get real. Scott Jennings is when George W. Bush was committing war crimes in every hemisphere of the country. Scott Jennings used to go up in front of Congress, and he used to be a little fat boy. We're no body shaming here. We do shame fascists, though, and we use all of the information at our disposal because, as Abdul El Sayed once said, when they go low, we go for their knees and drag them into the mud. And now Scott Jennings is like, he can go on Hinge now, and he's not going to be alone for the rest of his life because of how he looks. He's going to be alone for the rest of his life because of who he is. And he realizes now that he's got some measure of fame, and he's got a little beard. And, he looks just like a ball sack of a 50-year-old man, except that's his face. And now all he does is go on CNN and just glaze the president because one day, inshallah, Mitch McConnell will finally be ruled dead, and then he gets to run for that seat. But he's not even going to get to do that because Thomas Massey is who the people want. No one wants Scott Jennings. And that is really what Scott Jennings' name translates to in Latin, which is no one wants me, and therefore I have to be the intellectual Zamboni for a bunch of fucking morons. Let's watch the rest of the clip. Sorry. I really hate Scott Jennings more than anything.
Avoid that.
You have, by the way, at home, you have no idea how loud this is.
But
It's
Scott,
screaming.
listen.
You have no idea how dishonest you
It
are
has
to
nothing
come on
to
and
do
say
with
this stuff.
Natalie. She is
Yes, it
she
does.
is
It
being
has
a
everything to do. And
defenseless
if you want
You are
to,
being
defend
First of all,
her to
just
the mic,
to
go ahead,
be-
but I'm not going to do
just
it.
to be clear,
inconsistent,
hold on a
hypocritical.
second.
What do you think, Lydia?
Hold on a second.
You're a Republican or a conservative woman?
Just to be
What
clear.
do you
these CNN panels are
Hold on a
so
second.
great.
Just to be clear, I think the idea of continually describing a 35-year-old woman as somebody who has no agency and is defenseless and is just a victim, that is
She's a
kind of
victim of John
demeaning
Ossoff's
to begin
character
with.
assassination.
But the
She's a
second
top
thing
Trump
is,
White House official.
but the second thing is, Scott, you are so concerned about that, but you have not expressed any concern over Trump's repeated demeaning of all kinds of other women who are just simply doing their jobs. So
Including our
why
host.
not?
Including our host. He attacked our host here.
I'm disappointed you don't remember this, but during the president's first term, you actually got into it with him on the South Lawn, and we did a show together, and I said, I don't think that's good.
Okay,
He
you
shouldn't
got
talk
one
to you that
example
way.
because you happen
And
to
you don't
be-
remember
Wow, the dude's a hero. He's a hero.
He's a hero.
Harp
But
here
hold
is
on.
What
Wait,
about all these
hold on
different
a second.
examples? You are so good at
That's
turning
why
the
I
subject
asked you
away
this,
from the
Scott,
reality,
because
what she just
you
said,
easily
Scott.
It's
could
now
have-
even more decibels than
you
it was.
easily
you're
could have
playing
said-
more
I
decibels.
know you're playing to
Hold
your
on,
audience
Keith,
here, but Scott, you're
Keith,
still
just a
Personal
avoiding the
space.
subject.
Personal space.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Scott, you
it's
easily could have
wonderful comedy,
said,
Scott,
you
but
easily
you're
could have
avoiding the
said,
subject.
in this very same way that I denounce what John Ossoff said, I also denounce all the things that Donald Trump has said. You didn't say that
I
tonight, even
literally
when
just
you
said,
were
I don't
asked.
believe in demeaning
so
women. I
I
literally
will
just
say,
said, I don't
I
believe
will
in
just
demeaning
condemn each
say
of those
that you
incidents.
are not holding him to the same
Thank you.
standard that you
Thank you.
hold John Ossoff. You have a lot to say about John Ossoff and very little to say about
Yeah,
Donald Trump
because he
and
drug
his
a
treatment
defenseless
of women.
What about
government servant through the mud, and he
Freeman
deserves
to live.
He
Ruby
deserves
Freeman,
it.
The
Ruby Freeman
president
and
of the
Shane
United
Moss,
States
two-
does that on a regular
Ruby Freeman and
basis
Shane Moss
to
were
women.
defenseless
So she
government,
deserves it?
government workers, and Donald Trump attacked them. What does
listen.
it say about that,
Does she
Scott?
deserve it?
What does
Nope.
it say about that, Scott?
Okay, nobody is saying that. First of all, that she deserves anything.
You seem to be defending
But
it.
the only
Scott,
point,
you're
the only
deflecting
thing that we
again.
are saying is that if you're going to be mad at John Ossoff
Be
over saying
consistent.
he likes to the president likes to travel with her, you should be mad about the president calling a reporter doing her job piggy.
Be consistent, Scott.
That's a pretty simple thing.
consistent.
Not controversial.
Be consistent,
It's pretty simple.
Scott.
We gotta.
It's what it takes to be a Democrat. Drag defenseless
Scott,
women
you're
through the
not the
mud.
victim
All
here,
right.
Scott.
Drag defenseless
Oh my
women through the
God,
mud.
Scott, you're so.
You
Oh,
were
why
the
is
perpetrator.
Jared?
All right,
Thomas
let's
with
turn it
us?
off. I don't want to
Blood
hear him
of
anymore.
the American people.
I,
I
dude,
don't-
this is
I'm
the
tired
kind
of him.
shit. This is the kind of shit though. I hate this. Okay, I hate this show. I hate what they do on this show. I know people who have been on this show, and I think that they're putting some good people on there every once in a while. But like, this show has not reported at all on Section 219 of the NDAA, which is the part that would make the Israeli military and the U.S. military basically integrated to the tune of $600 billion.
And make it virtually almost impossible for the U.S. or any president to then sever ties in terms of with Israel and its military and its funding, because currently we give them a package. The United States gives Israel a package of around I think it's like $3.4 billion, and in total it's like 3.8 billion, right, a year. And Netanyahu and the Israeli government knows that they're not going to have that for long. So instead, what's their option?
They want
Is
to make
to
sure
just
they're
integrate it with the
integrated.
United States so that all of our technology integrates. So basically, everything is tied in jobs, factories to technology. So then the United States could not end the relationship. But anyways,
They
I
never,
love
but
how.
that's what drives me nuts. They never report on that. They
But
never report
no,
on
but
that
instead they
stuff.
have these. First of all, instead they pay this
What up,
guy Scott
Smooch?
Jennings so much money. But anyways, the point on on Jennings Scott, this guy. So he feigns his outrage that's obviously not actually real, on behalf of women, because John Ossoff said what is obviously true, that it's that Trump just wants to hang out with Natalie and travel and golf and build a ballroom while people can't afford their gas. Gas is the highest it's ever been. There's been tons of produce recall across the country. Like literally, they're having to do recall. Really, they did level 1 recall for like blueberries in Florida. They've been doing like there is so much going on. Walmart, which I don't obviously Walmart as a corporation is a terrible corporation, but they have reported their worst. Their worst, I think it was, month, because people aren't going to buy. I mean, when you know people are not buying at Walmart, you know something's up, you know?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
people can literally not afford things. They can't afford healthcare. We're in this war. The Strait of Hormuz, we've lost that war.
Long
You know,
time ago.
and this is the outrage. Scott Jennings, after supporting Trump, who's literally in the Epstein files, allegations of rape of children, and he's more concerned that Ossoff is the one who is hurting women. I mean, it's ridiculous, and it just shows they have such little arguments, and they're just going to keep throwing these things, feigning outrage. By the way, Scott Jennings, he might be wanting to run for senator. He also might want to be the press secretary on Pod Save America. That, you know, you can have your thoughts on that, but I was listening to them, and you know, basically, apparently, they reported that he sent his clips, these clips of defending Natalie Harp to the people in the White House, because he might want to be press secretary, after
Oh my God.
Caroline Levitt. Yeah.
He
So
wants to be the press
yes,
secretary.
He'll he wants to do take a pay cut
These
and be the
people are
press
such
secretary.
fucking losers, dude. They're
But
all
you know,
such fucking losers.
the reality is we couldn't. There's going to be books written about this time. Rome didn't fall in a day. America is falling this entire year. We're seeing the decline of an empire with a leader who's starting wars that he can't stop, just hanging around with Natalie,
Loose women.
and
Loose
building
women, Carlos.
and
He's hanging out with loose women.
and he's building the ballroom. That's all he cares about. Did you see his defense of the ballroom? They said, people think you only care about the ballroom. What's your response? Like, well, I need to build a ballroom because it's not respectful to have 89 people for a party. We got to get 2,000 people for the
Wait,
party.
I haven't seen this. I want to watch this thing. You're
It's
telling
so
me that he defended the ballroom? When was
yes.
this? Recently?
Yes. He said why he needs to hold these parties, and then, you know, that the ballroom needs to be bigger. It's just ridiculous. I just hope people understand that.
Wait. Inspects new White House helipad ballroom lawsuit has no standing. Let's see here.
Yes, I'm seeing in the chat we should talk about the election results, because I also have to leave in like 20 minutes. So
Oh.
we should unpack election results.
Okay, so for those of you who haven't been paying attention, we actually went over this last night with our political correspondent, who's a friend of Carlos and I, but we'll go over it again. Florida primary was a huge. We lost. Oliver Larkin didn't win, which is a bummer because he's a great guy. You
And
know, we
Elijah Manley. That was he. I've known him since I was a teenager. He's been fighting the good fight in South Florida for
yeah.
such a long time. He was originally running against a indicted congresswoman who was corrupt, and then because of DeSantis redistricting, you saw Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who
Just
for people who
objectively
don't know,
sucks.
for people who don't know, you could credit Debbie Wasserman Schultz for being one of the reasons why Donald Trump was elected in 2016. She was the chair of the Democratic Party during the presidential election, the primary in 2016, and she was being so biased, putting her more than thumb. She had her whole fist on the scale for Hillary
Mm-hmm.
against Bernie, and then the emails came out. She was basically trying to rig the primary election, and it came out, and she had to resign in disgrace. And she's the type of politician that's wrong, that's just trying to cling on to power. And she ran into this majority black district. This was the only historically black district left in Florida after redistricting. And Elijah put up a very good fight, but he lost. So it's unfortunate that he had lost as an anti-corporate, anti-establishment candidate. But I'm sure he's going to do really great things in the
No,
future. He's
yeah,
not going
and
to
he
give
didn't
up.
lose. He didn't
He did.
lose. He
No.
wasted the enemy's time. He wasted the enemy's resources.
Yeah.
He exposed Debbie Wasserman Schultz and yet another hypocritical piece of the Democratic establishment that has only done what they can to cling on to what little relevancy they have. So shout out to Elijah.
Shout
I
out to
mean, he's not.
Elijah.
He's I've met him I haven't met him, but yeah, no, he's good people, and I'm proud of yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
was gonna
then
interview him, but I didn't have the chance. But
yeah,
he's
well,
super talented, super generous guy, and
yeah.
we're gonna follow what he's doing closely.
Yes, and,
So
and we at Disrupt, we endorsed him. We're happy that we supported him, and yeah, we got to keep disrupting South Florida, and then obviously the shock victory in Florida, which is Angie Nixon
let's
winning.
go.
What an incredible upset! I mean, she raised less money, I believe, and
She
correct
raised
me if
$1
I'm wrong,
million
than
against like 28 million.
yeah, less money than many congressional candidates, and she
Mm-hmm.
blew Vindman out of the water. It was.
Oh, Carlos, we've lost the disrupt stream. The disrupt stream has been disrupted. If you're still with me, Republicans will win Florida governor. Ball striker Bandito 007. I hope they don't. What happened to Carlos? We lost him. Uh-oh. Well, 2016 Bernie, what is the book coming out about the Smooth Bandit? That's a good question. I don't know about this book, but I'm definitely going to read it. For those of you who are joining us in the widescreen, full screen, what's up? My name is Steve. I'm the host of this little shindig today. We're going to get Carlos back on stage. There he is. What's up?
I'm back. Sorry, my mom called me and it the screen just.
Don't apologize. Moms take precedence on this
Yes,
show. Embrace the
mom. I love you,
matriarchy.
mom. Just so you know, I'm on live. That's why I couldn't respond.
Uh,
So I think there's this rhetoric that is the resistance that Trump won resistant heroes done. It's just that people want more than just an opposition to Trump, and I think that's what we're seeing in
yes.
this election. Voters want people that are actually going to have bold ideas. It's not enough to be like we're not Trump. People are done with institutions. People hate the institutions. The institutions have been rigged against them. The oligarchs have rigged them. The establishment has protected the system. And Angie's from Florida, has been an elected official, is very well known as a fighter. She disrupted when the Republicans were doing all their shenanigans, literally putting her body on the line to call the urgency of what these Republicans in Florida are doing. And she won. I think she's really great. There's been a lot of interviews she's been doing. I think she's very good at talking about the affordability piece, because they're always going to say socialism, socialism. So they always attack. I know. I grew up in
Yeah.
in Florida. My family's Cuban, and the thing is that they call every Democrat a socialist. They'll call anyone a socialist, and the reality is that what people want is just they want to be able to afford their groceries, their rent, their health care, and and Democrats, establishment Democrats, and just in general, most politicians, they're just happy to have a paycheck in their position. just so that they can get more of a title. And I think
Yeah,
voters are done with
that's
that.
they just want the free haircuts, man. They don't care about us. Um, aren't done. Ossoff would be a great presidential candidate. I'm with you, Living Dead Girl, 1884. Also, Living Dead is a badass. Dixon is a badass. Yeah, Angie Nixon is a badass.
Hmm.
The Dems aren't done. Ossoff would be a great. I agree. I think he would be a great presidential candidate too. Also, Living Dead is one of the best movies of all time. Original with by George A. Romero. If you can find it, find it. The the thing that really pisses me off about how they're treating Angie Nixon is it's so like dog whistle racism like coded. Like even Alexander Vindman's wife like tweeted some stuff about like dressing professionally and all this shit.
Yeah,
And
about
like
her tennis shoes. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like this is
Have you
we're
been
not
to
we don't
Florida? You
yeah,
gotta go
like
around the.
what are you talking about? Like
Well, clearly
it's
clearly Angie ran the best campaign, so she had the right
oh
shoes for it.
yeah, exactly. She ran the campaign and she didn't hire a bunch of consultants
Yeah,
that, tried to
she
give
had she
Alexander
had the right
Vindman a
running
software.
shoes. She
Right,
had the right
exactly.
running shoes.
Somebody didn't give Alexander Vindman a fucking software update, so he looked like the Terminator and sounded like the Terminator. If the Terminator was an accountant for Deloitte, but like it really drives me nuts when you see this like strong woman of color who's by far the most qualified person to take on this swing seat that she can win. And like people like Kristen Welker in the interviews and a lot of like mainstream corporate media, they're all like, "Well, are you a socialist?" And they talk to her like she hasn't been an incredibly accomplished organizer and elected official in the state that she's running for Senate for her entire life. And it's like, why are you asking her questions that are unbecoming of what she's accomplished? And
Oh,
why are we letting Alexander Vindman's wife insult the way she's dressed? Like, this is all bullshit,
I
you
mean, why
know?
not after she's won the primary? Why is the press not asking her? So, what are your plans to help?
Yes.
Make sure Americans can afford their groceries. No, she has to. I saw Angie had to like pivot from the questions and literally address the affordability. Like and you see this over and over again. You see this with Zoran as well. It's like
Mm-hmm.
they have to. They never get asked about what their plans are for affordability or to make people's lives better. So they always have to pivot to talk about it instead of
Mm-hmm.
actually being asked.
Yeah,
Um,
no, and it's because they don't like it. That's part of the reason why I'm so sick of mainstream media, because mainstream media is not interested in people like Angie Nixon or Zoran Mamdani or even to a certain extent John Ossoff, because all of these people understand what the American people are going through, and if corporate media was forced to report on those issues, the issues that people actually care about, then the people that own corporate media would be pissed off because it would eat into the bottom line, which is why you need to support independent media. So
yeah.
if you're watching right now on YouTube, you can't support us. I mean, you are being supportive. We appreciate it. But the best thing you can do to support us so we can get to a point where we get super chats is watch the videos we
Hmm.
publish so we can get our watch
Yeah.
hours up. We're on
I want
Twitch.
to.
You can subscribe and gift subscriptions.
Yeah.
Sorry, Carlos. Shameless
Yeah, I
plug.
want to touch on two quick election things. So one is Fishback. He got blown out of the water. I think he got like fourth or fifth place, even though he was constantly going viral on the internet, showing that it's not enough to just go viral on the internet. You actually have to campaign and do the work. Obviously, not a fan at all of Byron Donalds. But the Fishback story is interesting because he did win basically every college campus. Granted, not all
He
college students are
did?
on campus, but yeah, he won by like 90, almost every campus, area of the voting. He won like 90%. He lost every other demographic, but in the Republican primary. And that just shows that, there are a lot of young people that are looking for answers, looking for anti-establishment answers. And if we don't offer a better alternative, they're going to follow someone who is a clown and who although very good at how he was able to talk about issues, ultimately he's a fraud. and
Yeah,
we're gonna
he's a
keep.
grifter, right?
But
Fish
we're
guy?
going to keep falling in that situation. We have to provide a populist alternative to this blaming immigrants and instead actually blame the oligarchs, which are the actual people responsible, and have a populist message and ability to get involved. Speaking about elections, I do have to address this. And Steve, you don't might not know about this, but so I was the former president of the Brooklyn Young Democrats until like 4 or 5 months ago. I was in the Brooklyn Young Democrats since I was basically in college on and off, and I was part of the reform movement in Brooklyn politics. Now, there is a huge problem in Brooklyn politics where the party chair, the chair of the Democratic Party of Brooklyn, it, has always been like a machine boss, right? That literally the party does nothing to help elect Democrats. The party chair does nothing to engage people or voters. They just raise money for themselves and their consultant friends. And the current chair, Rodney Spichot, who's an assembly member, there's been many efforts, and I've been part of it, the Brooklyn Candidate Movement, to basically elect enough district leaders. District leaders are members of the executive committee of the Brooklyn Democratic Party, and there's two per assembly district. And basically, it's a literal like assembly race. Instead of assembly members, it's district leaders. It's actually pretty expensive races. You get two per assembly, and I actually was a campaign manager for two of them, of reform candidates back in 22.
Really?
Yeah. So the reason I'm bringing this up is that something very, very like undemocratic is happening in Brooklyn right now. It is a brazen stealing of elections that is happening right now.
Holy
So
shit.
basically, reformers won a majority of seats. I believe it was 24. There's a total of, I believe it's like 44 seats, 44, 42. The point is that reformers won enough seats to have a majority on the executive committee, declared victory, and that they were going to vote her out and have the reform leader of this coalition, Julio Pena, who I know very well. Well, guess what the chair of the Brooklyn Democratic Party is doing? Instead of accepting the defeat, accepting that, is now doing what I think is probably unlawful power grab, and now trying to expand the committee after she lost the elections to just add like over 20 more district leaders. Has never been done before, just so that she could just stay in power. So like the election literally didn't matter. These elections didn't matter, and it's insane. Every elected should be calling this out. Every person in Brooklyn and New York should be calling this out. This is the problem. Brooklyn is one of the largest Democratic parties in the entire country, one of the largest counties. And then you have someone just doing a brazen stealing of an election happening right now in Brooklyn. And that has to be called out. It is absolutely dangerous and ridiculous. And what's the whole point? This is why people leave the Democratic Party. Because you see the
Yeah.
National Party not having
I'm
any
looking
sort
at
of
this up right now. Yeah,
yeah.
no, this is shady as shit. She's literally doing what like Boss Nass did in New York. Like
Yeah.
not Boss Nass, Boss Tweed. Thomas Nass was
Boss
the
Tweed, yeah.
cartoonist who took down Boss Tweed. By the way, I have a little drawing here for our friend Claire. She's a regular
Oh,
contributor.
that's
She lost
great.
her dear friend, her dog.
Oh
So we made her a
no.
little.
Sorry,
We're sending our
Claire.
love, and I'm gonna send this to our little chat that I have to add you to. Because
Well,
now
I'm
you're
sorry, Claire. I hope you are able to grieve, and hopefully this beautiful card. Steve, you made it, right?
I just made it right now while we were
Look at
talking.
that. Look at that.
That's what you get. I made one for Sprout yesterday. I'm making one for everybody. This is what
Very
I love.
talented. You're very talented. An artist all around.
I try, man. You give me a tuba, I'll make something of it. That's what John Lennon said. So we have this. I came up with this idea randomly, but we have this backdrop here for. We have art all over the walls. I made this thing for Jamal Bowman when he came. It's like
Nice.
if I ever see him, if I ever see people, I give them the watercolors I drew for them, and we have all of the watercolors I made on this piece of paper here. So Sprout, if for whatever reason, thank you everybody, thank you chat for sharing our love for Claire, and I got a Carlos thank you note somewhere on the wall. So, we have all of our friends are in different places, but the whole point of this community is that we know one day we'll get to share our gifts in real life, and we've had the opportunity of meeting in person, and That's why we do this, Carlos. We all have
Y-
different. We all have the same. We all have the same goal. We're just going about getting there the different ways. And
There's a very famous quote from one of my favorite TV shows, Andor,
love Andor.
and it's from one of the leaders of the rebellion. He's like, "We have friends everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and we have
That's the
to
way.
we have to remember we have friends everywhere." As crazy as these things are getting and the world is getting, and our humanity, they're trying to strip our humanity. These tech AI oligarchs, they don't really care about humanity. We're gonna fight together, and it's gonna be glorious.
It is gonna be
um,
glorious. It
and we
already is
won't jump ship. And
glorious.
we won't jump ship.
Nah.
Now speaking of ships, the USS Lincoln. I mean,
Tell me
these young
about this
people.
thing.
I mean, these young people have been on sea for almost a year. Was it like the longest deployment? Almost, I think they're almost beat the longest deployment ever in history. And there was no, like, the food was dangerous. There was mold everywhere. I mean, the mental health of the soldiers was like declining. They're fighting a war they don't even believe in because Trump didn't get approval from Congress to do this. And so it got so bad. They finally, after so much pressure, after Trump saying it wasn't long enough, they asked Trump, "Do you think they've been out too long to sea?" And people are jumping off. Literally, people were trying to jump off and harm themselves. That's how bad the toll was on these soldiers. And Trump's answer was, They're not there long enough. Not long enough. They weren't there long enough." And then Pete Hegseth, Secretary of, whatever he likes to call himself, he was like, "Oh no, everything's fine. It's being misrepresented." But they finally switched them out. The pressure worked. On the airplanes, they were putting on the dust. It was for Epstein, and it was for, they're in war for Israel, and the soldiers, they know. Listen, everyone knows that we're in these war because of to distract from the Epstein files and to appease Netanyahu. That's why we're in
Oh,
Iran.
Brad says another cookie cutter bullshit stream. Thanks,
Oh,
Brad. That was really.
Brad.
I haven't
Well,
seen your stream though.
no, but I think we should ask Brad. Brad, what do you think is inaccurate of what we're reporting? Would be great to understand. If you have facts, we would be happy to change our mind if there's different facts. But I'm just curious,
Yeah.
what is it there that is cookie cutter, bullshit about it? I'm just curious, like, what's the lie? Because we're just reporting
Where's the
what Trump
lie?
said. This is literally what Trump said and what Pete Hegseth said.
It's
We're not.
true. You can't. You can't. Yeah, man. I want to see what this says about. I want to see what this says about. Let's see here. Let's see what this report says.
On a story we have been covering here at MS Now, the USS Abraham Lincoln, the aircraft carrier that has been for months launching missions in the Iran war and where sailors have been facing terrible conditions, is now heading home. Another carrier, the USS George Washington, took its place in the Middle East, and the Lincoln is making its way back to San Diego. Meanwhile, new reporting from MS Now finds that the straining of ships like the Lincoln has had quite a toll. Quote, after nearly 6 months in a fast-paced, unplanned war with Iran, the parts on board the Navy's aircraft carriers are at risk of wearing out. That includes the plumbing and air conditioning systems, catapults that launch fighter jets, and the gear that catches the planes slamming to a halt on the floating runway. The ships will then likely require extended maintenance to repair them. The Navy did not return requests for comments.
That were raised as far as the morale, the exhaustion, the condition, relieve that resulted in public pressure and lawmakers demanding concerns about their really feels as though these family members who decided to bravely speak up and share their concerns about their loved ones, the sailors and Marines who were on this ship, that resulted in public pressure and lawmakers demanding questions from the Pentagon. And I believe that's really what has prompted the Navy to now relieve this ship with the USS George Washington. But in addition to all of those questions that were raised as far as the morale, the exhaustion, the conditions as a result of this extended deployment, now many former senior Navy officials are telling me that they're worried about the wear and tear and the damage on these $22 billion aircraft carriers themselves. As you mentioned, typically these deployments are only supposed to be about 6 to 7 months long, but in this administration, we've been hitting new records, and these deployments have been anywhere from 9 to 12 months, which means the maintenance period in turn, which is only usually about 8 months, is now being extended out to a year and a half. And as a result of that, then the aircraft carriers that are out at sea, their deployments are being extended, and this cycle just keeps continuing. Typically at any given given time. Out of the 11 aircraft carriers that the Navy has, only 3 to 4 of them are deployable. And already in this war in Iran, Alicia, we have used 3 different aircraft carriers: the USS Ford, which already went home; the Lincoln, which is going home now; the George H.W. Bush, which is still in theater in the Middle East; and now the George Washington, which is relieving the Lincoln. So we've basically used all of our deployable aircraft carriers on this one war, not to mention that we're leaving the Pacific theater uncovered by moving the Washington into the Middle East to relieve the Lincoln. So basically, if anything were to happen in any other part of the world, we're simply running out of ships at this point.
Wow. So that is there you have it. We have the 3D chess, 4D chess. What is it? How many Ds is the chess? The dimensions.
Well, I think
of
Trump
the chess?
doesn't play chess. He plays what's it? Battleship, the game. He thinks he's playing Battleship.
Yeah, I think he's he's playing Battleship.
He's
Except
playing
like
Battleship
everything
with
else.
Natalie Harp.
Yeah,
He's playing Battleship with Natalie Harp, and
yeah,
not
he's playing-
JD Vance, and not with JD Vance.
And not with JD Vance. You said that. So these guys are all fucking what a bunch of mooks. I can't believe that like we have given the biggest. Listen, the United States of America is basically just the government is basically just four dementia chess. That's good, Smooth Bandito. That I like that one a lot. That's a good four
Or
dementia.
dementia chess. That's pretty
That's
good.
that's good. That's good. That's good.
Uh,
Jimmy Kimmel
yeah.
couldn't come up with that shit. That's good. I like it. Four dementia chess. Smooth Bandit. You are one smooth bandito. The the thing is that the United States. Somebody once told me the United States government is essentially just the largest military in the world that offers health insurance. So like, when it comes to like human history, there's never been anything more resourced than the U.S. military. Like, period. Like, there's not been any more money or investment given into anything more than the U.S. military. The fact we handed over to a guy, and I know that we beat this to death. We've all talked about how Trump is the only one uniquely qualified to bankrupt a casino. Like, how the fuck? How do we live with? That as a society? Like, we have gotten so bad at picking leaders because we have gotten so stupid from like Reagan policies that privatize education and all this other bullshit, that now we are choosing to give the most well-resourced thing in the world to somebody who is the least qualified to run it. So that's something that I think that viewers should probably go home and meditate about. Like,
and that Trump will continue to do these things if he has Congress. So that's why if you are upset with Trump and what he has done and what he keeps doing and all these wars, then do not vote for his party in the general election. He needs that to stay in power. That's why he's so scared. So it shows that he doesn't care about the military. He's always never cared about people who serve in the military. He really thinks he doesn't understand it. He said it. He doesn't understand why someone would fight for something greater than themselves, because he's only cared about himself. But the fact that these young people in uniform, they're putting their life on the line, and they can die. They've have been going through such terrible things for a vanity war. Obviously, we also have to mention all the Iranians that have been killed and the children that have been killed by Trump and Pete Hegseth and this war. And obviously, not to mention all the children in Gaza using our bombs. And it's all a vanity project. They don't care. These people need to be held. These people need consequences. The first consequence is the election. The second consequence is these people need to be on trial one day. But last thing before I leave, I wanted to address the JD Vance speech he made in Michigan. He unsurprisingly is now pivoting to Islamophobia to attack Abdullah Sayed and called what Abdul's wanting to do Sharia law.
Let's see.
I mean, if you want to pull up the clip.
That's what we're doing, yeah. JD Vance, Michigan speech. Let's see here. Is this it? Full? No, it's 43 minutes. JD Vance in Michigan.
Should be a clip where he.
Yeah.
Here, I can send you the clip. Give me 1 second. I'll send it to you.
Sharia. Let's see what he said here. Oh, here we go. If you're a white supremacist, torches El Sayed for Sharia law remarks. That's the Economic Times. Offers prayer. Oh, God. These people are the worst. He was playing LIV golf during first dignified transfer, second term. Yeah.
All right, I just send you the tweet.
Here we go. Let's see here.
Understand, like, what do these modern Democrats actually stand for?
Oops.
But look what they say. Pay close attention, and they'll leave these little hints of.
Sorry, everybody. Let me get my. There we are. There he is. James Donald Vance.
It's sometimes actually hard to understand, like, what do these modern Democrats actually stand for? But look what they say. Pay close attention, and they'll leave these little hints of what they actually care about. Now, El Sayed, this guy running for Senate in Michigan, he once argued, not too long ago, that criticisms of Sharia law were rooted in white supremacy. I'd love to go back in time and tell my papaw that there's a man who claims to stand for working people who says not only should we have Sharia law, but if you criticize it, you're a white supremacist. That's not my papaw's Democrat Party, my friends. It's sometimes actually hard to understand. Like, what
All
do
right,
these
Steve, we can
modern
let's
Democrats
cut this guy
actually
off.
stand for?
First of all, JD Vance. Let me just start real. Oh fuck! 1 second. My thing went out.
Okay, I'll take it from here real quick. So JD Vance said something that's completely not true. He said that Abdullah Sayed wants Sharia law. So just completely lying. And I think what's really going on, he's confusing it with Shakira law, because this administration doesn't want Latinos in the country either, because they don't know how to dance. And I think we do need Shakira law because we need more dancing. We need better dancing, something that neither him or Trump know how to do properly. Especially because not only can JD Vance not dance, he can't even run. Have you seen those videos of him running? I mean, it's really embarrassing. He can't even run. He can't dance. So he's just very upset.
Hey,
He's just
listen,
very upset. He doesn't want. It's really Shakira law that he doesn't want because they don't want to be. He doesn't know how to move his body. He doesn't know how to dance. He has the charisma of a dead lobster. It's
Oh, he does have
ridiculous.
the charisma of a dead lobster. That is so true. And yeah, the thing about Shakira law is that the hips don't lie, baby.
Yeah, and
that's
well,
why
the administration, not only do their hips lie, but everything's a lie. It's a big lie.
Carlos is a good dancer. I've danced with Carlos before. Like, we know that the hips
Yeah, no, I'm a Cuban American. I'm a Cuban Spanish American from Miami. What can you expect? I gotta dance.
I
We
can't wait
can
to
dance.
hang out. I know you have a heart out.
But yeah, I have to leave now. But
Okay.
it's been real.
And me and Carlos are gonna be here every Friday. So if you're into Disrupt, if you're into what we're doing, for Party Crashers, and you love Carlos as much as I do, come every Friday. This is kind of like the soft launch for something that we're working on. So
And thank you, Steve. Truly the best host. Incredible host. The setup, the comedy. It's an honor, sir.
We're blessed. We're blessed to have you, my friend. And hey, I'm working on your thank you note, which is
I love it. I love it already. I love it. Oh God, I love it.
So
already.
I'm gonna color that in and give it to you when I see you in person.
I'm excited.
All right, everybody, tell us. Oh, bye, Carlos. Stay safe.
Bye. Have a great weekend,
hands.
everyone. You got to keep dancing. I'm going to leave you all with one of my favorite quotes from Emma Goldman, very famous, anarchist, famous anti-establishment hero. She said, I don't want to be part of your revolution if there's no dancing. So I will be dancing this weekend. I hope you can too. Or bop to the music at least. Just don't be JD Vance.
Just don't be JD Vance. Take it easy, Carlito.
JD. Yeah, because he just wants to stay on the couch. That's the problem. He doesn't want to dance. JD Vance does not want Shakira law because he wants to stay on the couch all day and not dance. Anyways, peace out.
Take it easy. Carlos, he's a once-in-a-generation talent. Happens to be a great guy. I mean, usually when you meet people that talented, they turn out to be assholes. But Carlos is one of the greats. He is one of the greats. Watch The Throne. Carlos not going to take any seat. He already has one. He's just going to get bigger And it gives me hope. Young people give me hope. I'm 37, so I'm kind of just chipping away at the whole life thing. My days of being a young man are over, but it really gives me a lot of hope to see people like Carlos who could literally be doing anything, and they're deciding that they want to make it easier for the next person. So we're really glad to have him on. And like I said, he's a regular contributor. We're going to be teaming up with Disrupt to do some pretty interesting shit here. No, hang on a second. Now he's calling me. On stream, my friend. You did end. No. You did end the live, but now you're calling me and you're on stream, so I'm just making sure you know. You too. You did great. Hasta luego. There you have it, folks. Carlos Casadillo Palacios. So, I mean, now it's Friday. It's happy hour. For those of you that celebrate, it's 4:22 in the afternoon in my neck of the woods. If you're out in LA, it's 2:22. You should be checked out of work right now. If you're out in the East Coast, I hope that you're on the train home or in the car listening to us. And for those of you who are fun employed, keep up the good work because no one loves you at your job. I mean, you might have some good friends or whatever, but don't forget, everybody, that unfortunately, we live in a society where if you lose your job on a Monday or you lose your life on a Monday, your job's going to replace you by the following Friday. Being unemployed is awesome. This is my job now, Sprout. This is my job now. I actually have a very interesting tale of what happened at my job, my last job, but I'm not going to tell it till I have to. Okay. So we paid $175 billion in illegal tariffs, and it's being refunded to companies instead of us. Trump's tariff refunds, $2.4 billion to Walmart, $2.2 to Apple, Ford's $1.3, Amazon gets $600 million back. Jeff Bezos, there he is. Americans realizing their government has been illegally taxing them for over a year, and billionaires are getting the refund instead of the customers. There you have it, folks. End stage capitalism. Not only can you bet on a wildfire, but every single dollar that we spent because of Trump's stupid fucking Liberation Day tariffs that have now been ruled illegal by the Supreme Court, surprisingly, in a shock ruling, all that money's going back to companies. So you can. I don't really give a fuck what you think and why you voted for Donald Trump, because if you did, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. It's what George Carlin said, people. It's a club, and we ain't in it, period. So I'm going to vote for people outside of the club. That's what I'm going to do, because I know that no matter what happens, we're totally going to be hosed if we keep voting for members of the club. Because here's the thing they don't tell you. Chuck Schumer, Howard Lutnick, Donald Trump, Hakeem Jeffries, they are all buddies, okay? Like, they're all like it's like the worthy adversary bullshit. None of them care about us. That's what they all have in common. None of them care about what I'm doing on a Friday. None of them care about what I experienced at my last job. None of them care about why Sprout's hanging out. None of them care about making our lives better, because their lives are just fine the way they are, even though deep down inside they're very broken little people. So that's why that's why this Party Crasher stream, it's not like other streams. Like, this isn't our job. This is what we love to do. So, we realize that in order to love doing something, it's like loving someone else. You gotta love yourself. So there are people that come, there are people that go. Trump is dead. I don't think he's dead. It's wonderful. First Charlie Kirk, now Trump. What a wonderful world this is. What are you talking about, Rusty? Are you? Trump is not dead. I've been on the internet all day. Trump dead? Let's see. No, Donald Trump is not dead. There we go. Trump is dead. Not true. Thank you, Rusty, for the update. Oh, here we go. Washington Post. Hard-hitting story here. This is a perfect example of why corporate media is dead. The Yep. Oh, here we go. Huff Post hitting with hard images. Let's talk about Trump's AI posts. Here, I'm going to share my screen here. Yeah. Okay. So we got experts weighing in on the president's AI social media posts. Let's see what Huffington. This is the kind of hard hitting shit we all need to know as a society. Corporate media has absolutely fucking failed us in this moment because it's gotten to the point now where we know, yeah, wishful thinking, Rusty. But hey, you know what? You got to imagine a version of reality that you want to live in. It's not just enough to hope and pray. Rusty's just manifesting. I've read The Secret too. It seems like Donald Trump may be losing his mind. Go figure. This is what drives me nuts, though. I bet you if we go to the CNN, let's see what the CNN is reporting. Voter fraud bombshell falls flat on data. We're still talking about bullshit that they want us to talk about. It's like they never talk about corporate greed. They never talk about the actual problems facing this country because Donald Trump and all these idiots are just a symptom. They're a symptom of the problem. The disease is greed, people. The disease is greed, corporate greed, personal greed. It's the greed of not ever having enough. There's this great story with Kurt Vonnegut and John Updike. I tell it like once a week on stream, and we have so many new people. I got joyful when I saw your message, Rusty. Yeah, me too. We're definitely gonna. This will not be coffee when that day comes. I promise. And Sprout, we're both gonna be really glad to be unemployed on that day. That's gonna be a good day to not have a job. The story with John Updike and I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna send us out on this note here. But the story of John Updike and Kurt Vonnegut. They were at a party in the Hamptons, which is this foo-foo upscale place in the New York where a bunch of rich people go to feel better about their inadequacy. And so basically what they were saying is John Updike was telling Kurt Vonnegut, hey, you know, these guys are captains of industry and they have so much. And John Updike said, yeah, you know, I feel like we don't have as much as these guys. And Kurt Vonnegut leaned over to John Updike and he said, you know, John, we have one thing that they'll never have. And Kurt Vonnegut said, what? And he said, enough. So, people, the thing I'm going to tell you right now going into the weekend is that there is one thing that all of these people that are ruining our country and are hurting innocent people and are saying horrible things about the most marginalized people in society and doing their best to harm them, whether it's Stephen Miller or Donald Trump or Jeff Bezos or Chuck Schumer or, you know, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. There is one thing that all of these people have in common. And there's one thing that we have that they don't. Close enough. Doesn't matter what you're drinking. You just, you know, doesn't matter. Drinking's not for everybody. That's okay. There's one thing that all of these people have that, there's one thing that we have that all of these people don't, which is enough. Remember that. And even if you feel like you should have more or you need more, just remember one thing. There's two things you can't buy. Love and your health and your safety. So there are a lot of people in our society that don't have their health and their safety, which is unfair. And we're working to make sure that they get it. And there are a lot of people that even though they lack the necessary resources, they have things that they have what Donald Trump and Jeff Bezos and all of those guys literally kill people for is enough. We have enough. That's our superpower, people. We have enough. And some people who are really struggling, they don't have enough and they still feel like they have enough because they have the love of their family and their friends. And if you feel like you don't have enough, you don't have enough love, you don't have enough support, that's what organizations like Disrupt are making third spaces. My friend Kat has an organization called Kapow. There are a ton of places. Use the internet to tap into real life places where you can meet people and build a community. Because if you feel like you're alone right now, You may feel that way, but I promise you there are millions of people that feel the same way. And that is how all the people who don't have enough want you to feel. They want you to feel like you need them and their bullshit and the slot machines they put in our pockets. They want you to feel like you are not enough. Because if you feel like you're not enough and that you don't have enough, you'll keep buying shit. And you'll keep hurting people. And that is the only way they can rationalize their entire fucking existence. I don't care who it is. Could be Peter Thiel, could be, could be Newt Gingrich. They all have the same thing in common. See, people talk about politics politically, and I think that that's a good way to talk about it. After all, that is the adverb that they use. But don't forget that politicians, they were human once. They were human once. And as a human being myself, I can tell you that they all suffer from the same things we do, which is the feeling that they are not enough. They are inadequate. And a lot of us, all of us feel inadequate at times. All of us, every single person. That is the hardest thing about being a human being, is that you are constantly doing what you can in order to feel like you are enough. But you will be free. We will all be free as a society, as individuals. We will all be free as soon as we look in the mirror one day and say, you know what? Doesn't matter what job I have, doesn't matter what car I drive, doesn't matter what computer I own, doesn't matter if I get promoted. I'm enough. Okay? So your homework assignment for the weekend, I think I'm going to be on this weekend. I'll be on tomorrow. I'll be on, I'll be on Sunday because I don't have a job. So, there are no days off in my line of work. I want you to join me. I want you to come in the community and feel safe and have a good time. And if you can do me the favor, we've had some great streams this week, and we are trying to get our YouTube numbers up. So even if you just have it on the background, we have a highlight stream with Chris Valenti that was pretty amazing. So poke around in there. Have a good time. We will see you on the next one. Love everybody. Remember, you are enough. And Sprout, always a big thanks to you, especially for keeping the chat clean, keeping the community safe. Y'all take care now.